Hi, we're the Sage Seeking Sisters. I'm Jackie.
And I'm Stacy, and we have with us today our honored guest, Kelly Brown, owner of Inner Light, and a Qi Gong teacher, and we'll talk a little bit about Qi Gong, and behind us is her art. But for those of you who are in Pittsburgh and Mount Lebanon, this is one of my favorite places to visit.
Yes.
So thank you for being with us.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, ladies. I'm happy
Absolutely.
to talk to you both.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So maybe just talk a little bit about what inspired you to open the store and, some of your artwork and things like that.
Well, the artwork in the store is an opportunity for me to showcase a lot of my research. So I'm a researcher in a lot of domains, and I embedded into the artwork. And when I moved back to Pittsburgh from after living abroad for 15 years, I was craving more spirituality in my life. I had 15 years of an abundance of inspiration, architecturally, culinary, historically, but spiritually, I didn't feel that was really in my life when I lived in France. And so coming back to America, it's like all dialed back up for me. And I wanted to be able to begin to present that. And so I started first with a partner, and we opened as a pop-up, and now I'm running the show myself. And the idea was to bring a place of spirituality where people could learn how to dive into their own sense of spirituality in a lot of different modalities. So we bring it to you in a very inexpensive way. You don't have to go, to Arizona or to Peru or Costa Rica, wherever, to spend a lot of money to get to know what it is that you want to try. So here is a great place, anything from tapping into earth energies, tapping into sound and music. We have lectures, so if you're somebody that is seeking knowledge, we also have manual touch from Reiki. We recommend so many practitioners in the Pittsburgh area. I really like to keep a book of a lot of practitioners, so if people are coming in and they're looking for a specific person, I like to field that out too. So I like to think of us as like a first resource in Pittsburgh, particularly in the
great.
South Hills.
Yeah, that's great.
And you sure are. I know I've benefited.
Yeah.
I was mentioning the Qi Gong and how that, for somebody who's high energy and working mom and
You're high energy.
Always moving.
The Qi Gong grounds me.
Yeah.
So you introducing me to that practice has really been, life altering to just kind of drop down and feel confident, and let go of the self-doubt and relax.
Yeah, and get centered again, too.
Right. Qigong is wonderful in that regard because it does allow us to learn how to meditate without sitting still. And especially moms who are used to being on the go, who are used to always thinking ahead, who are in this drive mentality. The idea, even though it might sound like an exotic one and something they would like to do in the future, of learning how to meditate, it's just not in their makeup right now. So Qi Gong is a way in which you can learn to find stillness through movement. And that's a really beautiful idea for somebody that wants to move, that doesn't just want to learn to sit and be still.
Right.
And you also get a tremendous amount of knowledge about the body and about the world that we live in from an electromagnetic standpoint. So it's intriguing to the mind, it's intriguing to the spirit, it has movement, and it speaks to aspects of physiology and biology too, because we are very self-reverent and we speak to our organs and the interconnectedness to the organs, but we also speak to the cosmos, and we feel and know the energy around us. So for example, somebody is in a high-powered job or not a high-powered job, but they're very sensitive to people.
Yes.
And they go home at the end of the day and they just drop their
Yes.
drained.
That's for you.
Yes, yes, me
That's how I
too.
feel.
It's like,
Mhm.
especially if you're an empath, you have
Oh,
all
yeah.
that energy.
You have all that energy. Well,
Yeah.
Qigong is a way to learn how to mitigate that. Qigong is a way to learn how to understand the energy body, to know where you start and where you finish, and how to control that. So empaths, it is such a typical thing, is they know how to be so in when somebody speaks to them. When I say in, they're in somebody's field and they don't even realize that they're doing it. They don't know where their body and their energy field starts and stops. And so what happens is they bring it back, and then they don't realize that they've brought back some of the other person's. So what we learn is how to slow down enough to know where and how and when we do that. That's one of many
such a
aspects to
benefit.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, Qigong is a 6,000-year-old practice. Well, someone will say 3,000. It's a very old practice. It's up for debate because it's an oral tradition. And there's so many benefits to it, more than we could possibly get into in this short thing. But I highly recommend it. And it's spelled Qi, but it's pronounced Qi, right?
The life energy, the life force.
Right. Prana if you do yoga, or energy here in the West.
Yeah, and I highly recommend it because it's not intimidating for people who have a hard time resting their mind,
Right.
you know, so you can focus. And I grew up dancing, and so it just, it fits me.
It feels really nice. If you're a dancer, it feels really nice because it feels like an adagio.
Yes.
Right? And so you know, typically adagios were done at the end of class, right? You've gone through your bar and your center work, and then you finish and you quiet the whole body down. That's what Qigong is like. But you learn how to become and be in your Zen bubble. And that Zen bubble is something that we can carry with us no matter where we go at any point in time. Yes, all of us.
Yes, in this day and age. Well, so aside from Qigong, what other like daily practices do you incorporate to help you?
I'm an intense researcher. So I do and have been doing journaling for most of my life. And my research delves in many fields, from physics to biology. It's all over. It's all over. Ancient artifacts. So
I also took a sacred geometry class, I have to say, and it was wonderful, so eye-opening, and how we're all connected, and there's just symbolism all around us if we can tap in and open our eyes.
And that's what it's about. It's about learning to encode or decrypt, or what I say decode, the world around us, because we hear that God wants to speak to us, but are we really seeing the signals? So the research that I do in the sacred geometry teaches us how to read those signals. And it's absolutely magnificent once we start to, because the serendipity in our life just quadruples, and then the essence of God or the essence of the universe becomes wholly a part of us, and you feel that interconnectedness with people, and that's so beautiful.
So can you, for people that don't know, sacred geometry or anything like that, can you give maybe an example of something that has happened to you?
Daily.
Hourly.
Okay.
Hourly. It's powerful. How about if I say things that I notice with people? So if you are somebody that sees repeated numbers like 1, 2, 3 or 1, 1, 1 or 2, 2, 2.
I see that.
Right?
I see that all the time.
You hear, like my husband, here's a perfect example. He has been seeing this one series of numbers, and it's haunting him. And it's been for like a year now, and I started diving much deeper into it, and I realized that it has a very, very personal message for him, but also has biblical connection to it too. So that becomes really rewarding once we're able to say, okay, I've been seeing 458. What does 458 mean to me? What does it mean on a much bigger scale? And in this painting behind me, I don't know if you can see, it says 137. Well, 137 is actually the gematria of my name. It's if you take every single letter of my name, and A is 1 and Z is 26. Well, if you take my name, you come up to 137. Well, 137 is called the fine structure constant, and that's a boundary condition in physics. It's a very, it kind of rules my life and my world. So that's a short answer to you.
Yeah.
I love it.
I can go on and on.
That was good.
That's wonderful.
That was great.
So the interconnectedness and the meaning, obviously our lives have meaning. What do you think we're here for? What is our journey about? Or what's your personal, what would you take with you?
So service to one another.
Okay.
That's a really good one.
To be here for one another, to realize that we are all interconnected, and to find out what our personal mission is. And I believe that people, when they have those extreme sensations of either depression or anxiety, it means we're so out of touch with our soul contract and our destiny and why we really came to this planet and why we're here right now, because it's a very, very, very powerful time in humans' history. So, yes, love for each other, interconnectedness, and personal mission.
Oh, I
It's
love
lovely.
it. I love it.
That is lovely.
Yeah.
And perfect.
Is there any advice you would give to especially our younger viewers, because growing up in such a unique time period? Anything that you would
Step out of your comfort zone.
Okay.
Allow yourself to be a novice. I lived in France for 15 years, I think I may have told you. And one of the best things that I ever did in my life was going to a foreign country and learning how to speak another language and allowing myself to appear a lot less intelligent than I was, because I couldn't speak the language. And there's such humility in that.
So I was just thinking,
So anytime you can put yourself in a situation where you're a beginner, it is so humbling, it's so fruitful ultimately in the end. One of the things that I was personally driven to do was to listen to this electrical engineer that spoke in a completely different language. And the beginning, I could only, this is a part of my research, I could only listen to him for maybe 2 to 5 minutes, but I would transliterate everything that he said, because I knew one day I would be able to understand what he was talking about, because it was another whole language.
Awesome.
So that every single word I had to write down and decode and write down the definition of that. But now I can listen to him, and it's so rewarding because he's speaking a language that transcends religion, transcends nationality, transcends anything. It's just an energy that he's speaking about, an electrical magnetic energy, which is really beautiful, and I can see it in everything I do.
Yes, that's
awesome.
wonderful. I was going to say, can we end with a little?
Yeah, so
Qigong?
that's what I was going to say. So we're going to have her demonstrate a little Qi Gong for us.
Okay.
Okay.
So your hands are the most healing part of your body. In fact, I think maybe if we've got some mothers watching, what does a mother do when the child is hurt? They immediately, or even ourselves, we immediately put our hand on it, because this is our natural healing part of our body. So what we're going to do is we're going to activate, this is called the Lao Gong point, and we're going to activate this to start to feel what Qi feels like in the hands.
Okay.
So let's just take our hands and we're going to tap. And what by tapping, this allows us to start to wake up and break up any stagnant energy that's in the body. And now we're going to put our hands together and we're going to tap like along the pinky line. And then we're going to tap the fingertips and the back of the hands and flip it over, other side. And then we're going to stop and we're just going to pulse our hands.
Oh, I feel it.
Can you feel that?
Yeah, sure can.
Yes.
It's tingling.
It is. That's what I was going to
Yeah.
say.
So it's as if you have two magnets and you feel that zone between the magnets where you're trying to keep the magnets from snapping together, and there's that pull. That is your unique expression. That is your own chi. And then we can start to work with that. We're making our chi ball, and we can play with that and feel, going very far out to very small. And then we can just bring it into our heart, put it anywhere we want and feel that love.
Wonderful.
Aw, thank you.
You're welcome.
That
Yes.
was so cool. That was so cool. I could feel it like right here too.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, thank you
Yes,
for being
thank
with
you
us.
for being with us.
And thank you
and
for
thank
watching
all of
us.
you. Yes. Don't forget
Thanks for
to
coming.
subscribe, like, and share, of course. Take care.
Bye.